If you've been to the Secretary of State this year and picked up one of these new IDs or driver's licenses, you've probably noticed some changes. Changes that the Secretary of State and experts in the field say will better protect Michiganders from counterfeit and fraud. While scammers are more likely to contact you through phone or email, they could also arrive at your front porch. So, Lieutenant Renee Gonzalez with the Michigan State Police says there are some things that you can do to keep you and your family safe. 95% of kids 13 to 17 report using a social media platform, with over a third of them saying they use social media almost constantly. And while experts say social media use can lead to more dangerous situations, as well as higher levels of stress and anxiety for kids, new legislation aims to address that. In 2011, the federal government recommended to local communities that they lower the amount of fluoride in their drinking water to 0.7 parts per million. So now for the Lansing Board of Water and Light, they say they really only need to add a splash. Hey, good evening, guys. The governor's proposed plan would find an additional $3 billion in new revenue to fund road repairs in the state. Along with new taxes on things like marijuana, the plan also proposes redirecting existing spending and also assuring that all taxes paid at the pump go towards roads. Now, the people that we spoke with today, they weren't too thrilled at the idea of new taxes, but they say repairs to our local roads, they're long overdue. Ted, would you pay higher taxes to get your local roads fixed?
No, I already pay enough.
Fix the damn roads. That's been the message in Michigan for the past 6 years. And since 2020, billions of dollars have been spent rebuilding nearly 23,000 miles of road. However, with the money from a state bond program drying up, the state is running out of money to fund road repairs. So Governor Gretchen Whitmer has proposed $3 billion in new revenue to pay for the roads.
State highways, I think a lot of improvement has been made over the last 5 to 6 years. With local roads here in Lansing, they're atrocious. It seems like every main road has got potholes.
The governor is proposing to fund the roads by redirecting $500 million in the state budget and adding a new tax on marijuana. Plus, her plan also looks at possibly raising the corporate income tax and increasing fees for heavy trucks. Republican lawmaker Sarah Leitner says she's happy to see the new plan, but says a lot of work still needs to be done.
There's still holes in there. There's not a ton of detail on where this money is actually coming from.
State Republicans have proposed their own road funding plan that they say would raise more money for roads without raising taxes. One piece of that plan that's identical to the governor's is assuring all taxes collected at the pump go towards fixing roads, and doing so without impacting the school aid fund.
I can appreciate that she's doing the tax shift, so the money is actually used for roads and not everything else.
The proposed program being considered by state lawmakers is called the Road Construction Business Loss Reimbursement Program. Now, that is a bit of a mouthful, but the program would give businesses impacted by construction thousands of dollars to make up for the money they've lost. The owner of Fabiano's Cannies in Lansing, who has been hurting from the construction on Michigan Avenue, says if they don't get some help, they may have to close up shop.
We're a 100-year-old business that has survived a lot of things like wars and pandemics and stuff, and I'm hoping we're able to survive a simple construction.
This year's Fabiano Cannies' 100th year in business. And while they've been operating out of this building on Michigan Avenue since 1979, they say they're being faced with their toughest period yet due to the recent road work.
We are still getting daily phone calls of people wondering how to get here. From both directions, east and west, and if you can actually get here.
They say the construction, which is supposed to last through 2025, has resulted in a drop in business. So state lawmakers are now considering a proposed program that would award impacted storefronts up to $15,000 to offset the revenue lost during construction projects.
As much as they are beneficial to making sure that we're fixing the roads, it can have a pretty significant impact on local businesses. And what they would do is that they would submit their average revenues for the last couple of years, and then they would need to show whether they've had a decline in revenue because of the construction.
Fabiano Candies owner Steve Blair says a program like that could keep them afloat and make business a little sweeter.
I would be in full support of a bill like that. Any help is better than no help.
And the bill sponsor from Lansing State Senator Sarah Anthony is hoping to get the legislation passed before the end of the legislative session in December. So we'll just have to wait and see. And